Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And we are at the second day of Doily Wednesday. The second Doily Wednesday anyway. So today we are going to make a doily using the stitch number 15 from my 63 easy to crochet pattern stitches combined to make an heirloom Afghan. And it is called the Afghan Doily. So it is normally called the Afghan Square Doily, but we are not making a square. We are making a round circle. So we're going to start out with a magic circle, and we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to make clusters. Okay, well this is the first one because of our chain 3. So we're going to go in and like we're going to do a double, and we're just going to go through 2. Keep 2 on our hook. We're going to wrap the hook, go in again, and go through 2. Now we have 3, and we're going to go through all 3. So then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to, that's a beginning cluster because of our chain 3. Now here is what the cluster actually is. So we're going to go in and go through 2. Go in, come out, and you should have 4 on your hook. Go through 2. Keep 3. Wrap your hook, go in, and come back out, and go through 2. You have 4 on your hook. Go through all 4 of those. So this is like a 3 double crochet cluster. They call it that as well. Then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go in and we're going to do this again. Now we're going to have 8 clusters. You keep going until you have 8 clusters and 8 chain 5s. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 3. Now I'm going to put another cluster in here. We've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 4, you know, and this will be 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put another cluster in here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Four. There should be 8 right there. We chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we have 8. So at the top of the first cluster, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of that cluster. Not the top of the chain 3, the top of the cluster. And now we're going to pull this shut. And there's what it should look. It looks like a flower. Isn't that cool looking? Anyway. So there you go. There you have the row 1. All right, so no, row 2, we're going to slip stitch into this chain 5 right here, and we're going to chain 3 and do a beginning cluster, which means we're only putting 2 double crochets together and going through the 3. Okay, and then chain 5. So there's 3, 4, 5, and put another cluster in there, in that same one. Which you're doing the 3 together. Now you're going to chain 3. And now you're going to repeat this in each one of these. You're going to do a cluster, chain 5 cluster, chain 3 before you get to the next one. So let's do the next one together. So we're going to do a cluster, chain 5, and do another cluster in there. Now we're going to chain 3 before we get to the next one. Okay, now you're going to do a cluster, chain 5, cluster in the next one, so and so forth. You go all the way around like that, and once you get all the way around, I will meet you at the beginning. Okay, so we're all the way around there, and you have a chain 3 and slip stitch to the top of this first one that we did, the first cluster, and there you have that. So cool. All right, so row 3, chain. We're not going to chain 1. We're going to slip stitch into the number 5 chain. All right, we're going to chain 3, make our beginning cluster, which we've got to go in here a couple of times, and then we're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make another cluster in that same one. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to just, in this chain 3, we're just going to put 1 cluster in there. And then we're going to chain 3 again. And then this one here, we're going to put 2 clusters in a chain 5 in here. And this is the pattern you're going to follow then. So it's a cluster, chain 5, and a cluster in the chain 5s. In the chain 3s, you're just going to put 1 cluster, but you have to make sure you're doing chain 3s on each side of that. And then when you get to the 5 again, you will do the cluster, chain 5, and a cluster. We're going to do that all the way around. So I will see you at the end of this round. Okay, so 1, 2, we're around round 4. All right, so we're going to slip stitch into the chain 5 right here, and then we're going to chain 3 and do a beginning cluster, and then we're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do another cluster in that same one. All right, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put a cluster, just 1 cluster in this chain 3. So all chain 3s get 1 cluster. and all chain 5s get 2. And we're chaining 3 in between the 1 clusters. Alright, and then the next one is a chain 5. So you'll put 2 clusters in there with the chain 5. You'll put a cluster, chain 5, cluster. And then, well, first of all, you're going to chain 3 before you do that. And then we're going to put a cluster. Make sure that you will chain 3 when you leave a double cluster. You'll chain 3 in between your single clusters, and then chain 3 before you get on to another double cluster. I hope that's understandable. So you're going to do that all the way around. So it's like having a double, a single, and then a double. Single, single, double. Okay? So I will see you at the beginning of this round. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So row 5, it's the same thing. Except for now you have 3 chain 3s to work in. It's almost like a granny square, only I think there's 8 points in this one. So all of your chain 5s are points. And then we have the sides. See, there's a chain 5. Here's a chain 5, and here's a chain 5. And then you have 3 chain 3s to work in. So you're going to do this same thing, making sure that once you're done with your point, that you chain 3 before you go into your chain 3s, and chain 3 before you get into the point. I hope that is understandable. I'll go through the first ones for it with you. So we are going to slip stitch into the chain 5 and chain 3. And then we're going to do our beginning cluster, chain 5. And now you're going to do another cluster in that same chain 5. And now you're going to chain 3. And then we're going to do a cluster in the chain 3. Just one cluster in there. And then chain 3. And we're going to do another cluster. In that chain 3. Then we're going to chain 3 and go to the next chain 3 and do a cluster in that one. So you've got 3 of them before you get to your next chain 5. And then we're going to chain 3 and then work your 5, your cluster 5, which is cluster, chain 5, cluster. Okay? And you can just keep going around and around like this. It'll automatically increase. As you can see, it'll automatically increase because you'll have 4 of them before for the next round. So it's sort of like a granny square, and it increases little by little for you as it gets bigger. So it'll stay, you know, I think it's really cool. That is the neatest thing ever. I love it. I love the geometric about crochet, you know. It is all about the geometric shapes and everything, and the counting and making sure that, you know, you're right where you're supposed to be. And you could just keep going around every row until you get it as big as you want it. And then we're going to do a border around this. I will see you at the end of maybe 2 more rows I think I'm going to put 2 more rows on this, and then I'll be back to show you how to do a border around this. Okay, this is so cool. This has 8 points. Okay, and like I say, you could just keep going and make this as big as you want it. You can make it so big it'll go over a table, a round table or something. It's just, I just love this pattern. This pattern is so cool. All right, so, but I'm going to make this as big as I'm going to make it, and we're going to make a border now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3. What I did was slip stitch into this chain 5 space. Okay, and I'm going to chain 3, and what we're going to do is I'm going to put 3 more double crochets in here. I'm going to I'm going to make the points more prominent. So we're going to chain 3 right here and go right down into here and make a picot. Like we did the picots last week. Okay, so now we're going to put 4 more double crochets in there. All in that chain 5. And so there's the picot. Alright, so now we're not going to chain anything. We're just going to go straight into these chain 3 spaces, and we're going to put 4 double crochets in the chain 3 spaces. Okay. So 4 double crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces, no chaining in between. And then you're going to go into the chain 5 and you're going to do 4 double crochet, picot, 4 double crochet. So let's do another one of those. So let's do 4 double crochet. We're going to picot. I love these picots. And then now we're going to do 4 double crochet again. Well, I just lost that. Come on. And then you're just going to continue around doing 4 double crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces. And then in your 5s, you're going to do the 4 double crochet, picot, 4 double crochet. And then we'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay, so here is, this looks like a star, an 8-point star. But it's an octagon. That looks so cool. I love this. So there's our second doily, and I really like the way that turned out. I hope you guys had a lot of fun doing this doily with me, and I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye now.